of Beyond the Loch. It gives me great pleasure to extend a very warm welcome and also a massive congratulations to the newly appointed Destination Director of Visit Inverness, Loch Ness, Ellen Walker. Ellen, a very warm welcome.
Thank you, Russell. It's great to be here.
Fabulous. Just going to chat a little bit about perhaps anyone that doesn't know you coming into this new exciting role, and it'll be great to hear everything that you have to bring to the role and how you're going to develop the area. So we'll just start off with maybe a little bit about your journey from what was South Carolina to sunny Inverness, and perhaps what drew you to Scotland initially.
Yeah, great. It's been a long road to get here, Russell. It's been a fabulous journey though. I mean, starting off in South Carolina, we have such a lovely amount of visitors that come to us from all over the world. And starting off in my childhood, I was always really close to nature, the outdoors, and helping people experience places and telling them stories and sharing our traditions with them. So it's always been at the center of who I am as a person. And growing up over time, I moved to go to university in Florida in St. Augustine at Flagler College, and had lots of opportunities to see different parts of the world and really hone my skills in public history and Spanish, and working with the communities there. I really loved it and had the opportunity after my first year at university when I was 19 to come to Inverness, as my university partnered with the University of Highlands and Islands to look at tourism and sustainable growth and development. And I was not knowing whether I would be able to have this opportunity because I didn't have the money at the time, being a young student. And it was the best decision that I ever was able to have, and it brought me here.
Fantastic. And the journey continues.
Mm-hmm.
I know from reading like the press release and so on, that you've worked, and you mentioned, in tourism across the globe in various roles,
mm-hmm.
from bottle washer through to now destination director, forgive me. Looking at this new role, what excites you most about the role of destination director for Visit Inverness Loch Ness?
I think the role of destination director is a really big honour to have in a place like Inverness and Loch Ness. It's a worldwide destination. And for me, having been on the other side of it as a visitor and starting my journey and love of the community in that way, it really is immensely welcoming to me and encouraging that I can be a part of that journey for other people, and also give back to that as a member of the community now, and having settled here. It's really exciting.
Yeah, it's quite a unique way to look at it, in the sense of you've been the visitor and now you're doing everything to deliver for the visitors. It probably has that special insight. So yeah, looking forward to seeing what you're going to bring there. You've talked about the importance of community and working with communities. You'll be aware of Scottish community tourism, Scotto, and all about that. Immersing people in communities, that authentic, sustainable, responsible tourism. Very, very easy to say, not always quite so easy to deliver. Considering those elements and how they are going to perhaps play a role within the region of Visit Inverness Loch Ness.
Yeah, sure. I mean, community is always should be at the base of what we do. As a destination marketing organization, our first and foremost responsibility is to the businesses and communities that we represent to make sure that we are delivering what they want to see. So getting out and about and being the leader of that organization means that I'm out and speaking to our members and really walking and talking the talk, not just going in and sitting behind a desk and attending conferences, but really getting ingrained in the community, taking part in community-led initiatives, making sure that we can deliver on sustainable targets, helping be the in-between between suppliers that could really encourage companies to make small changes and easy wins and easy ways. Because as people, and having been on that side myself and running businesses, is you don't have the time necessarily to go out and look for it, but that's one of the beauties of having Visit Inverness Loch Ness in place in this area, is that we can help find those resources for these communities, and we can help them get funding, access to different initiatives and programming, and really see that pay dividends in our community as well.
Fantastic. Yeah, I'm definitely hearing collaboration there, which is hugely encouraging. The funding piece, absolutely, we can work together on that. I think everyone will look forward to seeing what can be done there. Touching on the collaboration piece and across the whole of tourism and hospitality, perhaps expanding more on what that looks like to you and ways in which you can strengthen it if there's members out there who are perhaps looking at this, or other partners perhaps thinking of working in the area, how they would come about making contact with Ellen in that way.
Yeah, sure. I think for me, people make places has always been very important to me, and making sure that that's at the heart of what we do is very important. So making sure that people understand that the initiatives we're leading are made of by people and for people is really important in helping businesses improve. I think for me, especially looking at tourism in the area, is encouraging the next generation of people in hospitality. So whether you're working in a restaurant making coffee, or if you're delivering tours, or if you're driving walkers from one end of the Great Gulway to the other, you're helping people at every stop of tourism. And even if you don't work directly in it, it's encouraging them to know that they're all a piece of the bigger whole, and that we're all contributing to this wonderful place and community that serves it. I think for me, getting in touch is really important. I like to think that my door is always open to people, and while I'll keep myself as busy, if someone wants to get in touch with me, I'll always try and make time for them.
Sure. Feel free to make a blatant plug. I believe you've got a networking session coming up in June.
We do, yeah.
For our again viewers who are maybe interested in meeting you.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll plug some information in the information down below the video and against the podcast. But please join us at the Loch Ness Country Hotel soon, coming up in June after I start. Coming in on the 9th of June is my official start date, but really excited to be part of this community.
Baptism of fire.
Absolutely. There's no other way. There's no other way.
Fantastic. So coming back to Ellen's vision for Inverness and Loch Ness as enhancing that global destination, obviously Loch Ness is known throughout the world. Perhaps looking at a broader picture, beyond, we always say more than a monster, touching on that. Your vision there?
For me, Loch Ness is always about coming back to the water, and I think us looking towards what we have in terms of our views of that and connecting back to it. I remember it being my first wow moment when I came here as a visitor, is when we opened out onto Loch Ness, and it was a dreich day. It was dark, it was wet, and it was in June, but it was amazing. And I remember that really cementing that moment in time where I thought, wow, something's here, and I don't know what it's going to be, but I want to see more of this place. And that stuck with me. And coming into this role now, what I see as our future is making sure that we can protect that sense of wildness that we have about Loch Ness. And we say that it's more than a monster. Yeah, we're wild, we're natural, we're beautiful, we're all the things that a monster is, and what Nessie means to the world as well. That sense of mystique that we have about us. As we move into the future, it's making sure that we can also protect that for future generations as well. So it's how do we work together between businesses to protect that sense of place? How do we help it from not growing out of control and becoming its own monster? And controlling tourism numbers, etc., in a sustainable way, so it doesn't get too much for us.
I love that. I love the wow moment there. That's you can see it means a lot to you. You touched there towards the end on the sustainable element, and I know that you have a lot of passion and research in that particular area. Again, perhaps for viewers thinking how visitors can perhaps be aware of the environment that they're coming to, and how you intend to promote that.
Yeah, sure. I think we have a role to play, right? As people who are portraying these experiences to people. For our part, as Visit Inverness Loch Ness, it's showing people all of the different businesses that we have and members and sharing that vision with them. And it's also making sure that when we are helping our visitors plan itineraries, that we remind them of different opportunities. There's a great deal of people who are really interested in volunteer tourism. At the moment, it's a really hot topic. People want to come and contribute, and that can look like a lot of different things. It can be something as integrated as it's a week-long working holiday where they're coming and working in a rewilding center, or they're just walking along Doors Beach and pick up a couple of litter pickers when they're here, or shopping at a local market instead of shopping at a big box store. So there's things that everyone can do to contribute, but visitors are really keen to see us thinking about that and preempting their need. I mean, that's a big thing that you get taught through hospitality coming up. I remember that being ingrained in me by managers saying, you need to preempt the need, you need to know what they want before they get here and what they expect. And for us being a global destination, and when people think of Scotland, we're in the top of what people think of. We need to be proud of that and also be the leaders that we can be, and showing them the example that we've been for so many years to embody that.
Fabulous. I love it. Alan, we are within Loch Ness Hub and Travel a very, very active member and close collaboration with Visit Inverness Loch Ness. We're hosting obviously one of the Visit Inverness Loch Ness peel-off maps here. Amongst many other things, we do quite a lot with social media. But also aware as a director of Visit Inverness Loch Ness that there's perhaps some members out there who are not as engaged, and I know from speaking with you earlier that's something that you're keen to change. So for those out there who are perhaps not as active currently with Inverness Loch Ness and how we can change that, steps they can make.
Yeah, sure. Just get in touch. One of the first things that I'll be doing right when I start is trying to listen and talk to as many people as I can. I'll be speaking with my team to understand and look into it and be proactive on our side and see what members we've not engaged with as much in the past, or people who may be looking to get something different from the relationship that they've gotten. So really keen to hear from as many people as possible. Please come to our networking events. Please just drop by the office if you want to speak to us. We're getting phones, so please just pick up the phone and call me. It's very exciting. We're moving into the 21st century, so it's very exciting. So just call me. More than happy to talk. Let's see what we can do together. There's so many amazing opportunities that the team are really keen to put into place, and happy to make that happen.
Your enthusiasm, I think, is going to be infectious, and you're undoubtedly going to make an incredible difference to the destination. Just finishing off, and this probably is a very apt question for you, who's pretty much done everything within tourism, but if there's youngsters out there, because we very much want to try and nurture the young people in the area, and recognising that tourism is a fantastic industry to be working in. Your advice to anyone that's considering starting out in tourism?
My advice is always, no job is too small and no job is just a job. When I first came up here, even though I had worked in hospitality all through my studies and everything else since I was 15, I'm doing everything from washing dishes, hosting, giving tours, cleaning everything up, cleaning houses, holiday lets, etc. And then moving on to developing tours, responding to UNESCO applications, planning applications, etc. I kind of had to take a step, what I perceived as a step back, when I came up here and I worked for the National Trust for Scotland at Culloden Battlefield and Visitor Centre. And I said, I moved up here in August of 2019 with my husband, who's from Inverness, and I was so excited to get going. And I saw that there was a job going at the Visitor Centre in the cafe making coffee. And I was like, oh, well, I can do that. That's just it'll be a little job and it can get me going and it'll get my foot in the door to the destinations up here. And I thought it was only going to be a 4-month thing, and I thought, well, I won't be there very long. That turned into a 4-year career, and it set off in motion a wonderful trajectory for me and getting me ingrained in the community and really setting up my ambitions for the future and who I wanted to be. And I think by understanding the hard work that goes into making the coffees and then looking after a building and then moving on to other things, it really opened up doors for me. So what you might see as a part-time position at the moment, whether it's a work study or whether it's just a little project you're working on, they can open doors for you in ways you can't imagine. So never turn your nose up at something, just get stuck in and always be ready to get involved.
That's very, very wise words, and we're certainly looking forward to you getting stuck in at Visit Inverness Loch Ness. Ellen, thank you so much for joining us on Beyond the Loch. We will be moving into a new series very soon, showcasing a number of things that there are to see and do in the area. And I think that open door policy for everyone to get in touch, whether you're a young person looking to get into tourism or a member who wants to hear more. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Issel. See you soon.